Today's March 22nd, 2017. John, you're headed to the airport. Hopefully everything will be okay. There won't be any terror attacks like there were in London today.
Yeah, we hope. It turns out, Andrew, the anniversary of the terror attacks in Belgium, in Brussels, at the airport. And those, of course, were right on the heels of what had happened over at the Bataclan nightclub in Paris.
That's right.
So no one applauds this kind of stuff, of course, and it's just a shocking reminder. I guess the intelligence community has been pretty good lately, though, because boy, as you saw, they were talking about banning laptops from certain countries. It turns out now that they say some of that intel was gathered by the SEAL raid in Yemen, where they learned that those kinds of devices could be triggered on a plane, and that's why they're not letting them on in the cockpit anymore. And so
who would have thought all those bad dudes were in Yemen now?
Yeah, who would have guessed? But
they to have that kind of intel, but
they got the intel, and obviously stuff that goes into the hold of the plane goes through a whole different level of scrutiny than does a body scanner or basically going through to see whether or not you're carrying a metal weapon. And I know those machines because General Electric bought one of the biggest companies in that space, Envision, spelled with an I, Envision, and they're about 20 feet long, and they do all this various sniffing and everything else. So that's a different level of security, actually, than the people that go onto the plane because of the types of devices that could go in the hold. And so I understand completely if they've got intel, and Brits verified that, by the way. You might have seen that the BBC and the Telegraph said that the Brits had banned direct flights from certain countries to have laptops on board. They had to have them in the hold. And, there was all the usual, clatter. The clattering class was out there saying what an invasion this was and who's going to entertain my kids and all the rest. And it's just kind of like, well, you don't have to fly then, because we've got credible intel that they're planning something like this. And then here you go. The intelligence communities also had chatter about, because we heard today that London's been on high alert for a while, that they had credible intel that something might be going on. They, of course, intercept or stop a lot of that before it happens, and they don't usually take that to the media and tell them, hey, yeah, we stopped this. But today they told us, yeah, we've stopped 23 incidents over the past year, and this one, we knew something was coming, but we didn't expect this.
Yeah, on the floor when this was going on, I was looking at it coming across my Twitter feed, and I thought, oh, okay, this should maybe move the market. It didn't. And then one of the traders, Chief, came over to me and said, what's going on? I said, you tell me. I said, you hear about this terror attack? He goes, no. But they have the TVs on in the pit. I said, I guess it doesn't really. He goes, no, we're not seeing any, doing anything.
Yeah, so, isn't that interesting? I mean, the VIX did move off of the lows of the day right before that happened. Before the attack happened, as you had told me, we had just basically minutes before that figured out what the opening price was for the VIX, because it's not immediately apparent. It's not like when a stock opens. You've got to check out every strike price that's part of the calculation.
Usually comes out around 9 or so, 9 in the morning.
Yeah, so it takes you a little while. And then after that, the VIX kept dropping, got all the way down to 12, I think, almost exactly 12. And then the London news started to break, and the VIX moved off of 12, but it only got to about 1250, right? I don't know where it is right now, Andrew, but as of the time I left the CNBC set, it was right around 1250.
Another hard day at work. Sitting there
Yeah.
waiting to go on, and first this week it was Comey, then this. You only
Yeah,
did
it's
really
like
one
feeling.
show.
Everybody said it was my best work ever.
I know. Well, speaking of which, what would you have mentioned on the show had you gone on fast time? This will be like the de facto fake fast money.
Yeah, this is our own 10-minute halftime report.
We'll call it fake money.
Yeah.
Just kid.
Real
Take
a look at the KRE. I noted in that one, Andrew, that's, of course, a regional bank index, I believe. And the KRE is an ETF, of course, that tracks the performance of that index. And people were buying the 47 puts with the index at about 52, but the index did get down to 51.50 and then bounced. That was interesting to me because 51.50, I think, was the November 28th low for the KRE. And what's also interesting is they erased about 3 months worth of gains in the regional banks just this week. That's how active, that's how virulent the selling was in the regional banks versus a JP Morgan, for instance, that's barely 2% off of its all-time highs kind of thing. But the regional banks, different story. And a lot of it, I think, has to do, Andrew, also with, the 10-year treasuries still, 12 to 20 basis points under where it was when the Fed increased rates last week. So what does that tell you?
This is a buy? I don't know.
Well, it tells me that maybe we're not going to be seeing 3 rate increases no matter what Janet Yellen or anybody else says.
Okay, I see.
Increasingly looking, at least in the short term, this is short term,
so
that we might not get as many. People were even saying, it looks like 4 when she moved last week. And I'm thinking,
now you're seeing puts. You're seeing puts on KRE, right?
Yeah, KRE, we saw people buying puts to set a floor, probably because they didn't want it. What if it goes back all the way to where it was when Trump was elected? They didn't want to forego all those gains. So they bought the puts. And the puts probably also give them comfort to buy on the dip. And that appears to be what they did because it bounced about $1 from 51.50.
Got it. So this was trading the 59.60-ish, 58-ish. So they're saying 52.49 might be the floor on this because it's taking a nice drop. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's taken a nice drop very quickly.
So if they don't raise interest rates, KRE will stay the same, and you can make money off of selling those puts because they were selling the puts. They were selling the puts. Okay.
The other was, FMC, Andrew. FMC, they were actively buying upside calls that quickly moved to at the money and even in the money. They were buying, I believe, the 60 strike calls with the index or with FMC just below 60. That was like 59.70. And they were buying the 60 calls. Big numbers, though, really big numbers with a small open interest. So to me, that says, I want to be on there with them. So I bought a upside call spread.
I'm not trading anything today. I almost bought some more American Airlines. I bought some yesterday.
Yeah, got a Morgan Stanley downgrade today, right?
What the hell are they thinking?
I think it was Morgan Stanley took them to maybe sector weight or equal weight. Boy, the thing's at the year lows, and it's damn near $10 off the high of the year, right? Or of the last 3 months.
I know. I bought some more yesterday. I'm okay. I'm holding on to it. I'm fine. I'll hang with it.
Yeah, it hasn't. There have been, some stocks that work on buy the dip, and there's been others that, like this one, worked once on buy the dip. It hasn't worked more than that, just one time this year. That first travel ban, American Airlines dipped, and you and I bought it, and it popped back up. But boy, it just has bled off since then.
That's all right. I can live with it. I'm not. My trading style. I can hang out with these things for a while until they you know, so they become
I
annoying.
still like it. I still like
Yeah.
it. I don't own it right now, but I still like it.
Are you flying American Airlines today?
I am. I'm flying home on American. I usually come out private, go home American just because of timing. If I wanted to hit the private, I'd have to wait till like 7 tonight, I think.
So you
And
let us know
I'd rather,
you let us
just get home.
let us know how packed those planes are. Let them know why you
Oh,
fly.
they're unbelievable. Every
Yeah.
seat is full. Every seat.
Got it.
So, but the Morgan comments were that Morgan Stanley thought they were just putting on a little too much capacity, even though they are full right now. And I think Morgan's wrong. Time will tell. But I think 39 or wherever it is roughly right now, Andrew, is probably a pretty good buy. You know what I did do today also? I sold puts in Nike.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Nice
The goddess of victory.
Yes.
Right on the opening, I was selling the April 54 puts. Got them for like 115, I think, because they immediately widened out their quotes. So I said, okay, I know there's a buyer if they widened out their quotes. So I slammed some puts in there, and they ended up having to gobble them up. Not saying I sold the all-time or the high of the day or anything else, but I like the trade, and I think
know what
Nike.
You should do?
What?
You know what you should do for maybe one of our next Investitude seminars is to take a clip of this stock Nike right now and what you just talked about, because you could explain that to one of our sessions about how they widened out after earnings so that you knew there was a buyer, assuming that this works out for you, which I think it will. But this time frame right now, I think that's a good idea.
All right. We'll timestamp it, and we'll go back and
so that like a month or two from now, when our listeners are showing up for our, Investitude, whatever conference, and you're like, oh, by the way, back in March, do you remember when Nike came out with earnings and it dropped 4 points? Anyway.
And by the way, folks, the when you sell a put, you're taking on the obligation of buying the stock at that level. So don't go about this willy-nilly. But this is like when people come on our air, most frustrating thing I can hear them say, well, I like the market, but I like it lower. Okay, well, then make the commitment. By selling this put at 54 strike, I am obligated to buy it at 54 less the premium that I received. So I got $1.15. That means if I'm buying it at 52.85. That's just 54 minus 115 is 52.85. That would be my price that I would be long Nike, if indeed it's below 54 for expiration. Meanwhile, if it stays above 54, you keep the whole premium. So I like the trade, and we told you guys about it here, and I did it live for our guys in the room. We'll see how it works out. I like it, though.
Okay. You're going to be in the office tomorrow?
No, I'm going to be on vacation tomorrow.
Nice. Anywhere special?
Dominican Republic.
DR,
yeah.
That's
looking forward to it. Although I think I have to be a chaperone for 4 days for like 60 high school students that are going to be down there. My daughter's one of them. And then after that, I get another 3 or 4 days to relax.
Really? So you're a chaperone on a high school trip? Good luck.
Yeah, several parents had to volunteer to do it because apparently the 60 high school seniors were deciding that this is where they wanted to go and couldn't just let them go down alone.
That's like content gold on whatever, Instagram. Make sure that's like clickbait. Put it up.
Yeah,
man.
I doubt if I'll be taking pictures of high school kids, but
no, I mean
just
but you just do it as like I'm stuck doing this, like hardship thing, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's funny.
What else should be good weather? I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so we know where you're going to be. We know why you fly, and what else was I going to mention to you? I guess that's it. I guess we'll leave it at that for now. And
well, check out iTunes, folks. You can subscribe to the podcast there and or over on YouTube.